picking the best song from each of the Weeknd's albums with the ultimate goal of picking his very best song. It's going to be difficult, but unlike the Kanye West video from the other week, I don't think this is going to be impossible. Right, how we're going to do this, I'm going to use the random name generator to pick each studio project at random. Trilogy will be split up into the 3 mixtapes, and My Dear Melancholy will be included, even though it's technically an EP, until we get to the end, and then I have to rank those off against each other to pick the greatest Weeknd song of all. Let's jump in. The first one. Beauty Behind the Madness. Okay. Honestly, I feel like this is going to be one of the easiest ones to pick the best song from, because while I like tracks like Often and Earned It, they definitely have that sort of super mainstream Weeknd vibe about them. In the Night is a really, really strong track, big Michael Jackson vibes on that one. But honestly, from the bottom of my heart, am I really going to argue against The Hills? I mean, Can't Feel My Face is technically the first Weeknd song I think I ever heard. It was playing on the radio. I was just driving my car and I suddenly heard this song on the radio and I was like, can't feel my face. And I'm like, is this guy singing about cocaine? And he was. I mean, it's a trick he's pulled off many times, isn't it? I mean, everybody knows, but yeah, he still gets away with it. But honestly, Beauty Behind the Madness, I can't think of any other track but The Hills. Those creeping verses, kind of triumphant but still really sinister chorus. I do remember the first time I heard this song. It was either on the radio again. Now, this is where the Weeknd started to break through in the UK and started getting Radio 1, sort of mainstream radio airplay. I'm pretty sure it was the performance of this song on Late Night with Jules Holland over here, where Abel's just there, when he had the crazy hair, just standing alone. Now, at this point, I'd heard the name The Weeknd on the radio, but I didn't know who it was. I actually thought it was a band. Part of my mind, I was just like, I don't like this guy. And within 3 or 4 notes, I was utterly captivated. And it was at that moment I really knew something had kind of changed in my mind and my musical perception, because I'd assumed a bunch of stuff about this guy and it was all being blown away, but I was still having that resistance. This isn't my genre. I don't like his name. What's going on with his hair? All this stupid stuff that was probably saying way more about me than him. But within a few notes, I was like, wow, this guy can sing. And if you watch that performance, it's so captivating. The Hills. It's gone on to be one of my favorite Weeknd songs. And while I would say Beauty Behind the Madness, I'd say it's probably my least favorite Weeknd album. It's certainly the Weeknd album I've gone on to replay the least since this amazing journey that I've been able to be on this channel. But The Hills is always a standout track. So the winner for me, The Hills. Okay, up next then, Kissland. Kissland for me, like a lot of people actually, has gone on to be one of my favourite Weeknd albums. But on that first listen, I'm lucky enough to have all of my first listens to these full projects on video, which, by the way, if you haven't seen and you wanted to, whole playlist there. Literally my whole Weeknd journey is on video. I'm very, very blessed and lucky to have been able to do that. Kissland has just gone from strength to strength to strength, and we did a listening party a little while ago on stream, which really just elevated everything. Seeing all you guys quoting the lyrics back and just having kind of synergy, it was a really amazing moment. Now, which song? Oh dear. Yeah, I thought this was going to be easier than the Kanye video, but already the only way you can do this is to just start listing off some of the ones that you know that you love. I know I love The Town. I like Professional a lot, but I know I love The Town. I love how unusual it is. I love how it has similarities to a lot of the music from Trilogy, but it kind of has an evolution and advancement of the sound. I was so settled on that being my favorite song for the record, probably until that listening party. But now things have changed. I've grown to really love Love in the Sky, which I don't think I gave anywhere near enough credit when I first heard it. A really soaring song. Everything about this album has this unusually, obviously it's still kind of sinister, it's still brooding, but there was something about this, the sort of elements of hope and beauty and light. But Love in the Sky definitely has those elements, and it's gone on to be one of my favorite tracks. Belong to the World is a strong track, but realistically, as I say it out loud now, is that going to be my favorite track from Kissland? I don't think it is. I think we might be settling on one here. I think Tears in the Rain, that moment where we listened to that on stream in the listening party, and I've gone on to spend more and more and more time with that song. And also there's that track on Dawn FM, Every Angel is Terrifying, which sort of is a bit of a bait and switch, isn't it? It starts like it's going to be an amazing song, and then it pulls it away, and it's just almost like a commercial, maybe for the third part of this trilogy, whatever it's going to be. That actually really reminded me of Tears in the Rain. It was almost like those two could link together. So I went back and listened to Tears in the Rain a bunch of times after listening to Dawn FM and doing that whole album reaction journey around that. I got to stick to my guns on this one. My favourite song from Kissland, Tears in the Rain. Oh shit. It's House of Balloons time, guys. This is my most replayed Weeknd project. Obviously, I think, listen, I'm gonna be a little bit egotistical here, but I genuinely think that my video, listening to this for the first time, one of my most viewed videos, it's top 2 or 3 on the channel. I think it's one of the best videos on YouTube. And I know that's a ridiculous thing to say, but you've got to back yourself sometimes. And it's not just because of me and my amazing personality. No, it's not. It's honestly because the feelings, it's all there on camera. Like I said, I'd heard The Weeknd, I'd heard some of his music, I'd heard the stuff on the radio, I'd heard some stuff from Starboy as well by this point. There was something, well, you can see it. That's the beautiful thing. I don't even have to explain it. You can see it happen to me. Everything was different for me and has been different for me ever since that video, ever since that moment, ever since that musical experience. But this isn't about that. This is about what my favorite song is. And it's difficult. I mean, listen, we could list them all, but High for this is an amazing moment the first time you hear that, and then always as an intro to the project, always hits. Wicked Games, when the guitar kicks in and he starts hitting that beautiful falsetto. Oh, you just want to slump, dude. You just slump. I really do love the kind of fragile beauty of the morning. I love the almost sunrise nature of loft music. There's so many magical moments on this project, man. But the one I've always gone back to, is the title track / Glass Table Girls. The first part of it is really a kind of like definitive Weeknd moment for me, but it's when the beat drops, when the beat switches, when the 707s, like I say, it's all there on video for me. I'm lucky. What a moment that is. Just go back and listen to that now. Just that change, and you know that the whole energy of the party has changed. The whole energy, the whole mood, everything has changed. You know, some people are leaving, some people aren't feeling it anymore. It's only for the real ones. For me, it has to be the title track / Glass Table Girls. All right, up next, My Dear Melancholy. This is a fairly easy one for me, to be honest. I actually went back and listened to the project just before making this video because I wanted to be sure. And while I do like Try Me, while I do like Wasted Times, while I do like Privilege, honestly, I just don't think any of them can touch Call Out My Name. That was actually the first Weeknd song I reacted to on video. If you want to go back and check the old Rock Reacts video from, God, maybe 3.5 years ago or something like that now, back really early on in my YouTube music reaction journey. But my appreciation for the song has only gone skyward since then. Listening to it this morning, it's the first time I've heard it in ages, probably over a year. And it's still so good. Just the delicate elements of the production at the beginning and how it all builds. It's almost like the different elements. Abel's obviously always had the talent and the songwriting. The production has always been good. They went a little bit too slick perhaps on Beauty Behind the Madness. But for Call Out My Name, it's like they took all of that knowledge, all of that know-how, and just kind of elevated it to something that had the essence of some of his old music, but you could really hear the pain. The video is incredible as well, with the bats like coming out of his mouth. Yeah, that's easy. Why am I even arguing about it? That's a win. That's a W. Call Out My Name's gotta be. I can't see any argument against that one. I want to know down in the comments if you're arguing against that one. I'd be surprised, to be honest. Fuck, man. When I started doing House of Balloons and Kissland, I knew this one was coming up, Echoes of Silence, and we might be in trouble actually. If you were to say to me, John, I think the best project that The Weeknd ever put out is Echoes of Silence, I don't know if I'd want to argue against you. This is one of the most complete moments, I think, of The Weeknd's career, because every song has incredible depth. Obviously you have the cover at the beginning, but if we're starting with Montreal, every song has real depth to it. Nothing surface level on this album. In the same way that the second part, the Glass Table Girls part of that song from House of Balloons is only for the hardcores, I would say this whole project probably is. Listen, it's very listenable. It's not like super difficult experimental music, don't get me wrong. But if you're just here for the casual moments, you're here for the blinding lights, I don't know if you're going to be fucking with EXO / the host, but I am. I'm fucking with it. Let's talk about some of these songs then. Montreal. Every single time I put this song on, I have different feelings about it. Every single time I put this song on, it gets better. I was fortunate enough in my previous occupations to be able to travel quite a bit for work. So I've had two main previous occupations. One was working as a consultant in marketing for Monster Energy, and that involved a lot of travel. And then before that, I was a video games journalist working on various video games magazines, and that as well did involve a fair amount of travel. I did go to Montreal once. It was an amazing city to go to in July. I can't lie, fucking beautiful city, amazing people, great vibes. The combination of the French vibes and the Canadian vibes were incredible. And every time I hear this song, it reminds me of that wonderful trip that I absolutely love. So I have that kind of like personal connection to the song as well, strangely. But I don't know, this is definitely up there. Let's move on to some other songs. It goes straight into Outside, which is a stunning track. Again, I think one for the hardcores. And then we've got EXO / the host. Now, we talk about, this actually goes straight into Initiation as well, doesn't it? Because the host kind of has the lyrics that then bleed into becoming Initiation with weird chopped and screwed elements. Or it's almost, if that could be one track overall, but I've got to pick them as they're listed. EXO, the host. Oh man. It's just, it has so much punch, but yet it has so much darkness to it as well. Things I think a lot of people, they clamour for the olden days of Abel's music, right? You know, they listen to the new stuff, to After Hours, and probably even more so Dawn FM, and they can't really get into it because they want the old Abel back. And the truth is that old Abel doesn't exist. This guy isn't like this anymore, and we probably don't want to send this guy into the places that he was in back then. But I can understand as we get to the slightly more surface level music that's come out since, especially the singles. I would argue there's actually still so much substance to his recent music, whether you're talking about conceptually in Dawn FM, or actually if you go and listen to a song like Less Than Zero. But I felt like he was inside these moments more on these early tapes. And I think EXO the Host is a beautiful summation of that kind of era and that sound of the Weeknd. In an album full of stunners, Same Old Song is strong, The Fall is strong, the title track is strong. In an album full of amazing tracks, EXO the Host, also just the name of it, you know. We're all connected by those two letters. Everybody who's really, really into this artist is so connected by those two letters. I think I'm going to have to go for EXO the Host for Echoes of Silence. Man, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, actually. I thought this was going to be a breeze. I was like, no, what am I thinking? Clearly, I'm going to do a lot of these for a lot of artists. Let me know down in the comments which other artists you'd like me to do this for. I think they're fun videos. They're not that fun to fucking make because making these choices is extremely challenging. Extremely challenging. Up next, Thursday, we're rounding out the trilogy. Now, this is my least favourite of trilogy, but that's like saying which is your least favourite one of your kids, you know what I mean? I still absolutely love the record, and much like the other two and so much of his music, it still had a profound impact on me. In terms of picking the track from here, let's go through. Look, I like Lonely Star. I like Life of the Party. The title track is good. The Zone with Drake is okay. A lot of people love The Birds Part 2, and I do like that track a lot, and especially the way it bleeds from the first one as well. Rolling Stone is a standout track for me. I just love the poise in that track. It has less going on than a lot of the other tracks from the Weeknd in this era. It's stripped back's not the right word, but it's lighter. I can't think of a better word than poised. It's like it's really focused on the type of track that it wants to be. And the subject matter is still really good, but it's not quite as dark and sinister as some of the other tracks. And because that, there's almost like that contrast to the rest of the music on these projects that does make it stand out. But then it goes into Heaven or Las Vegas, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I can pick Rolling Stone over Heaven or Las Vegas. So I'm gonna have to, in the interest of just getting on with this fucking project that I've set for myself, I'm gonna put my fucking stake in the ground, and it's Heaven or Las Vegas from Thursday. We can fight in the comments this time, bro. You know, get your fucking, say it with your chest. You know, my comment section is good. I do think it's one of the most amazing on YouTube. You guys want to discuss music and you want to take the piss. There's some memes going on in there. But now, feel free to just say your opinions with your chest. No offense will be taken. Tell me that I'm wrong if you think that I'm wrong. It is fine. This is all about opinions about music over here. I'm talking about saying it with your chest. I've got ambitions here on YouTube, and when I saw that I don't have as many subscribers as the royal family over here in the UK, I thought that cannot be right. So if you want to join this family and help us overthrow the royal family, all I need you to do subscribe. Okay, up next, and we're into the modern era. It's After Hours, an album that I've played so many times. I think it's my second most viewed video on the channel. The songs themselves, how many of them have really stuck with me? Like I say, look, Blinding Lights and Save Your Tears, as good as they are, have been criminally overplayed. And it's not the song's fault, but when a song is played that much, I'm amazed that they still like those songs. That's a testament to those songs. But I can't possibly pick either of those. And I think it was always going to be one of two tracks on here, and it kind of was from first listen. And that is between the title track After Hours, and that is between Faith. Now, my first reaction to that drop in After Hours, oh, fuck off. I think that was actually shared on socials by the song's producer, Elangelo, which was fucking cool. Yeah, that song still absolutely hits every time, even when you know when the drop's happening, even when you know the build up. It just delivers in a way that actually some of the best EDM and dance music delivers, but it has the quality, the tonality of The Weeknd's best music. In terms of my favorite first listen, when I first listened to the album, because bear in mind that I'd heard After Hours, the track at this point, and Blinding Lights and Heartless, but Faith, obviously we'd not heard that until the album came out, and yeah, that was a real moment. I remember when that beat hits and then the drums come in ever so slightly too late, and just being like, hold on a minute, what is happening here? This is something different indeed. Listen, this whole video is about saying it with your chest, so I'm going to just stand my ground once again and pick Faith. Faith is the best track from After Hours. Oh, that hurts to say that because I just felt that moment when I first heard that drop in After Hours, the track. But no, I've got to do this. Faith. After Hours. Faith. Into the final two, and it is Starboy up next. A project that I love parts of and don't love other parts. Going back to this album, it definitely has a lot of highlights, but I think maybe at this moment, Abel was kind of like a little bit lost in terms of the sound that he was trying to go for. If you go back and listen to what he's gone on to do since, there's nothing that really emulates this sound. However, the title track, still an absolute classic. And again, talking about getting songs on mainstream radio, clearly about cocaine use. Cutting Ivory into skinny pieces and then she clean it with her face. I mean, I can't believe that didn't get censored on mainstream radio. Are you kidding me? There are plenty of songs on here that don't really connect with me. Like I Feel It Coming is a song that I like a lot, and it has, again, those Michael Jackson vibes, but am I going to put that in my top 20 Weeknd songs? Probably not. I think this is a simple one. It is between Starboy, the title track, and it's between Sidewalks, which I don't know is many people's favorite Weeknd song, or if it's even a song that's spoken about that much. But that kind of bluesy guitar lick that drives the track is amazing. I'm not a huge fan of the use of autotune so much on Abel's voice on the track, but the Kendrick Lamar verse really, really delivers, and where's that guy gone? Please, we need the new album, Kendrick. Sidewalks and Starboy, Sidewalks and Starboy. Fuck it, man. Listen, the obvious choice would be Starboy. I could listen to that song all day, every day, but I have to go by two things. One, my initial reaction when I first heard it, and two, my reaction the other day when I actually watched that Mania video. That's actually on Patreon if you wanted to watch it. Somebody asked me a Patreon request to react to that, which was the like the pre-release video before the album came out, from what I understand. And that's kind of driven by Sidewalks and that guitar lick. And listening to that again, I was like, ah, man, it's so good. And you know, if you know my other tastes in music, like bluesy guitar driven music, it's so much what speaks to me. I think I'm gonna go Sidewalks, man. I think that's gonna create some controversy in the comments, but I'm kind of excited about it, man, because I think some of my picks have been, I certainly think a lot of my picks have been popular. So Sidewalks from Starboy, the best song on Starboy. Find me in the comments. And that means, of course, the final album is the most current album. It is Dawn FM, the one that we've been able to live with the least, but it has been out long enough to really settle in our systems, I think. And my first listen and my current favorite song are pretty much the same. It is How Can I Make You Love Me? I'm going to say that one again. I'm going to say that one with my chest, because while Out of Time is the one that everybody's excited about at the moment, with Ho Yeon Jung in the video with Abel and that crazy twist at the end. You've got Sacrifice with that amazing kind of In Excess style guitar lick that drives the whole thing. I do fucking love that track. But How Can I Make You Love Me with the soaring choruses and that kind of like downbeat, punchy, sort of almost deep house section, and then the way that it bleeds into Take My Breath. Yep, I am fucking backing myself on this one. How Can I Make You Love Me is the best song on Dawn FM. And now we've done it. We've picked the best song from every one of the Weeknd's albums, but here's where the real challenge comes in. They've got to fight it out, and I've got to determine what is the best song in the Weeknd's discography. Fucking hell. Okay, so let's go through the winners. We've got The Hills, we've got House of Balloons, Glass Table Girls, we've got Heaven or Las Vegas, we've got XO / The Host, we've got Tears in the Rain, we've got Sidewalks from Starboy, we've got Call Out My Name from My Dear Melancholy, we've got Faith from After Hours, and we've got How Do I Make You Love Me from Dawn FM. Let's do this. Let's cut some of these out straight away. Listen, I don't think, as much as I've just backed Sidewalks, I don't think that's making it in this fight, so that can go straight away. I don't think Call Out My Name's making it. I don't think Faith's making it, and I don't think How Can I Make You Love Me's making it. So we've got The Hills, we've got House of Balloons, Glass Table Girls, we've got Heaven or Las Vegas, we've got XO / The Host, and we've got Tears in the Rain. Now, it's all about elimination at this point. XO The Host is an incredible track, but I think it is made all the more incredible by the fact that it does bleed into and blend into and interpolate into Initiation. And without that, as a standalone track, by the rules that I've created here, track by track, I do think it misses something. Now, we're talking about immaculate, incredible songs. We're having to be very picky here. But I don't know if it can stand toe-to-toe with some of these other tracks. And for that reason, I'm going to get rid of it now. Even though I might think it's a better song than some of these others, but I don't think it's going to win for that reason. Oh, that's painful. That doesn't feel right, actually. That doesn't feel right. We may go back to that. Right. The Hills. There's part of me that's like, well, no, The Hills is on Beauty, so it's not going to win because it's on Beauty, and that's my least favourite of the records, probably, or maybe Starboy. I'm not prepared to get rid of The Hills just yet. House of Balloons, Glass Table Girls, I don't think I can get rid of that. No, that's not going anywhere. Heaven or Las Vegas, I just don't think for me it's on the level of these songs. I think I'm going to kill it now. It's a fucking amazing song, but it's gone. The Hills, House of Balloons, Glass Table Girls, Tears in the Rain. Holy mother of shit. Why did I do this to myself? How the hell can I possibly pick between these songs? I don't think this is going to be impossible. I'm getting into my own head now. I need to just think from my point of view. The Hills is gone. The Hills is gone. The Hills is gone. I'm left with two. I feel like bringing back XO The Host. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. Top three, House of Balloons, Tears in the Rain. It's come back, XO The Host. It's come back. Do you know why? I think House of Balloons / Glass Table Girls and XO / The Host, the two / songs, are better than Tears in the Rain. Fucking man. Montreal's really good. Nah, I can't go back that far. Tears in the Rain. Thank you. I don't see a world where I can't pick the song that has meant more to me from The Weeknd than any other song in terms of changing my entire outlook both on music, life, career, because obviously reacting to The Weeknd's music has been such a fundamental part of this channel. If you're brand new, you won't have been here for all of this, but for the guys that have been here for all of this, you know that without this, I'm not here, right? This is it. And that one is always the one I go back to. And it was always the one that stands out for me, and it's always the one where every single note just strikes something. I talked before about the music going through your veins or your nervous system into your bones, everything. And that, more than any other song, XO had already died. My favourite and the best Weeknd song from his discography is House of Balloons / Glass Table Girls. That is it. I will fight you guys in the comments. I am ready. Let's get your opinions down there, and I'll catch you all very soon. Peace.